Colombo, Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan Muslim politicians holding top government positions have resigned, saying they want to enable the government to investigate allegations against some of them on links to Islamic extremist militants. 9 cabinet and junior ministers and 2 provincial governors resigned Monday, days after a Buddhist monk began a fast demanding the expulsion of 3 leaders whom he said were linked to a Muslim group responsible for the Easter Sunday bombings that killed over 250 people. Rauf Hakim, a lawmaker for Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, says they asked the government to investigate the allegations amid an anti-Muslim hate campaign. Muslims have been subjected to violence and harassment in public places since the April 21 bombings, which were carried out by a local group that pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group. Related slideshow, Sri Lanka serial blasts provided by photo services. Nearly 253 people were killed and hundreds wounded in multiple blasts that hit different locations, including churches and 5-star hotels, in and around Colombo, Sri Lanka, on Easter Sunday on April 21, 2019. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attacks and Sri Lankan police have detained at least 58 suspects in connection to the bombings, the country observed. A national day of mourning on April 23. The Sri Lankan government lowered the death toll from 359 to 253 on April 26. Security personnel check vehicles and bags in Colombo on April 25. Security personnel stand guard outside St. Anthony's Shrine on April 25. People participate in a mass funeral procession for victims of the bombing at St. Sebastian's Church on April 24. People attend a mass burial of victims at a cemetery near St. Sebastian's Church in Negombo, Sri Lanka, on April 23. A broken statue of Virgin Mary is seen in front of St. Anthony's Shrine on April 21. Soldiers stand guard at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Colombo on April 22. Sri Lankan newspapers, showing front-page coverage of the blasts, are seen on a newsstand in Colombo on April 22. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe speaks during a press conference in Colombo on April 21. A man rides a bicycle in an empty street during police curfew in Colombo. A man crosses a road during the curfew in Colombo. Sri Lankan Special Task Force's soldiers enter a house following the explosions. Officials inspect the damaged St. Sebastian's Church in Negombo. Sri Lankan military officials stand guard in front of the St. Anthony's Shrine after the explosion. Sri Lankan military officials guard the St. Anthony's Shrine after the blast. Special Task Force members prepare to go to the site of the explosion at a Shangri-La hotel. Security personnel stand guard at the cordoned-off entrance to the Shangri-La hotel. The glass pane of a statue lies broken after the explosion at St. Anthony's Shrine. Sri Lankan army soldiers secure the area around St. Anthony's Shrine. A view of damages after an explosion hit Kingsbury Hotel. Security personnel stand outside the Cinnamon Grande Hotel. Police inspect the site of the explosion at the Shangri-La Hotel. Security personnel inspect the blast site at St. Anthony's Shrine. An ambulance is seen outside the St. Anthony's Shrine as people and security personnel gather. Police cordon off the area around St. Anthony's Shrine. Military officials guard the St. Anthony's Shrine. Armed policemen patrol the area after the explosion at St. Anthony's Shrine. Locals and police gather at the church at Batacloa. A police ambulance carrying casualties enters the mortuary in Colombo. Priests gather outside the St. Anthony's Shrine. Security personnel stand guard outside of the Cinnamon Grande Hotel. A security officer stands in front of St. Anthony's Shrine.